Good afternoon, everybody. Again, thank you for giving us an opportunity to give an update of our current situation there in downtown. As Jim mentioned, I am VP of Energy Delivery, overseeing the work that's being performed the last 2 days, including the event we had last week. I just want to share with you where we're at, give a little bit of history, and really give you an understanding where we're at from in terms of the process of restoring. Yeah. First of all, this system was installed in the between 50s and 60s. Yeah. The intent with this system is really to provide a reliable system for the financial community, where there's backup circuits being fed off of one of our substations in the area. The system is really a network of what we call manholes, and typically these manholes are 6 feet by 4 feet by 6 feet, where our cables connect through manholes to manholes and then ultimately serve customers from these manholes. And it's really a network throughout the downtown area, hence we call it the network system, providing service, reliable service to the area. What I wanted to do is really kind of outline the chronology a bit of what have happened on Monday night. We suspect there was a fault in the manhole there on Bethel Street that propagated to a fire. In that manhole, we have multiple circuits, high voltage circuits. That feeds that whole area. It's like the gateway to that to the downtown area. Unfortunately, we're still doing the forensics to figure out what initiated, but we do know that it was some kind of electrical failure that propagated to a fire, and then subsequently causing collateral damage to equipment within that manhole. If you can imagine that this manhole is 4 by 6 by 6 feet, and there's gases from the arcing and so forth, causing an environment where explosion, a flash arc to occur, and anything within that area resulted in the damage we see here. Immediately we responded and make sure that the circuits were de-energized so we can safely work with the first responders, so we can safely extinguish, and then more importantly is to assess and figure out next steps to restore. We started that Monday night, and that continued through the morning and early Tuesday morning. What we found out that majority, if not all, of the cables in that manhole was impacted by severe arcing as well as burning from the fire. With that said, it took time for us not just to secure the manhole. Most of our manhole have they're underground, so there's a process to create a safe environment for our crews to go in there. So number one, there's a dewatering process to make sure it's clear of liquid and debris, and then we create an area where we can lay down and actually have our crews to go in to inspect. Yeah. Upon inspecting, we found out there was a significant amount of damage in that manhole. So we proceeded with the cleanup, understanding what circuits needs to be prioritized to be restored. We focused on the primary circuits that feeds the major parts of the system. And then subsequent to that, we our plan was to follow up with the secondary that it would feed a majority of the Chinatown area. We were able to restore, of the 3,000, 2,400 that day. and that was off of our what we call Fort Street Circuit. That was about 2,400 customers, and then we had the remaining 600 that we continue to work on. That includes completing our primary work as well as what we call secondary that feeds the smaller customers. Things were going well last night, and unfortunately we encountered a problem where we had one of the new splices failed, causing an arc. And we had to stand down. And when I say stand down is whenever there is potential hazards in these manholes, we evacuate and we have our operation folks turn off the power. And then we can go back in and figure out what happened. Now, prior to this, we put all steps in place in terms of protocol, safety requirements to ensure if something does fail, that our workers are safe. And we did that like any other job, and that really was important because it really concentrated the fault to one area and keeping our people safe as we evacuated. Sorry. So unfortunately, we caused another outage for those customers that we previously restored. We did redo the repairs, and we were able to restore them today, but we're still working on the rest. And the hope is sometime we'll get that portion restored as well. I want to add, though, is working in this environment is very difficult. I've been in this industry for 40 years and been with Hawaiian Electric 34 years. This kind of work is the most difficult work that our folks have to encounter. Our folks who work in this areas are very specialized, and you can see as we look at the equipment, it takes many years of experience for them to be able to do this kind of work. And for the last 24 hours, 2 days straight, we rotated our experts in restoring and redoing the necessary repairs to restore service to our customers.